Hey, this is my Martin 0015S. So I'm not sure if you know a lot about these guitars, but they're all mahogany. They're outstanding guitars, especially if you're into fingerpicking style, folk music, or just something you'd like to do music composing with. It's just easy to play, sit on your lap. Let me tell you about this guitar a little bit more. As far as construction and everything, the basics here, but it's all, like I said, it's all mahogany, and it has a slotted headstock. That's what the S stands for. I think you see this model 0015 SM. S for slotted headstock and M for mahogany. These are nickel tuners it has. I find that this really is keeps this guitar in tune. I never have any trouble for it coming out of tune. I had this guitar store away for months, and I pick it up, it's still in tune. The neck is a Indian rosewood neck. It's 12 frets to the body. And it has kind of a shoulder, kind of rounded shoulder upper bout, and then a deeper bass lower bout there. It has a very, typically a parlor type guitar has a more focused sound to it. So it has a good bass sound, but also can get some highs in there as well. It's really a great sounding guitar, I think, especially for studio type of work that you might be doing. This guitar is really in excellent condition. I took the pick guard off, and because I just like that real vintage look to it, and it is very vintage looking. It's really based on Martin's early guitars, probably from the turn of the probably from the 1920s, late 20s, early 30s. It also has a Indian rosewood bridge at the bottom. I think the bridge is at the bridge is about 2 1/4 inches, and at the nut is I think it's 1 3/4. I thought the nut's a bone nut, but I think it's Corian. It might be the material up there. People say it's bone. Let's take a look at the label here. Yeah, made in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, if you can see that. Focus a little better there. And so it's funny, I was working in New York City last week, and I was walking in some part of Manhattan, and I saw a plaque on the wall for Martin Guitar Company, starting out there in more the lower midsection of Manhattan. It was really interesting. Yeah, you'll see that's a decal rosette there, and it just, that's probably, it's not the best feature is the decal, but you can see it just kind of coming off. I was thinking of just taking it off if I could, because to me, I kind of like really clean looking guitar there. But apart from the rosette decal, there are no cracks, no deep scratches. There might be little things like that. That's probably the worst on my guitars, that whatever that is, that little light scratch on the heel. But this neck is straight. It's really well set up. There's a really famous vintage guitar maker here in the Boston area, a guy named T.J. Thompson. He does guitars for Eric Clapton and members of the Rolling Stones. This guy's really great maker, and I got to meet him. He actually did a setup on this guitar, and I was at his apartment. We were kind of playing guitars, and he really liked the sound of this a lot. Thought it was a really good value guitar. It's a satin finish on these mahogany guitars, and you can tell it's kind of interesting where your arm is. You can see that. What happens is satin finishes, if you rub it, it actually becomes shiny. So some people I've seen will take a very fine, I think, don't do this until you research it, but from what I understand, it takes some very fine steel wool, and they actually rub the guitar, and the whole thing becomes shiny, if you want that look. But just to let you know, that's from just my elbow area, and just from my hands. I'm a finger picking style type of player. A little more of the guitar. That's a dovetail jointed heel onto the body. Let me take a look. What else we have here? You know, again, it's mahogany, all mahogany. So it's a flat top, as they call it, but it's the top is all wood. It's no laminated wood in this guitar at all. It's a real wood top and real wood sides and real wood back. So back, sides, and top, real wood. No plywood, no laminations in this at all. So it sounds great. It's I don't know. I'm holding my camera in one hand, but I would suggest you just go on YouTube and find some really good players. They demonstrate how this guitar sounds. I think you'll like it a lot. Hey, also included in this is this case. So I have a friend of mine who actually he collected really expensive guitars. I mean, his guitars range typically from, he had a few guitars at $4,000 or $5,000 guitars up to $14,000 guitars. And this happens to be a case for one of his, I think this is a case for his $10,000 guitar. So you can imagine it's a pretty good case. And this comes, so the case alone is, you can see it's a slightly elevated top here, but this thing could probably survive a bombing here. But this thing is solid, has about 5 or 6 latches around it. It's a great case. I know a lot of people don't talk about the cases that much. Definitely not a flimsy case, great case. Also in this guitar, I had put in the standard half-inch opening for a pickup. I think I used a Fishman pickup in here. You can actually see the guitar through there. And that's great because the Fishman pickup will screw in there nicely, and then you put the mic up near the strings. I sold that Fishman pickup, but I will throw in, apart from the case and the guitar, a Lawrence Soundhole pickup. I got this. It's really interesting. Elliott Smith was my favorite kind of musician, and he used one of these, and it actually sounded really good. So if you need a pickup in right away, once you get this guitar, you got this one. But I still say it sounds great if you use something more sophisticated like a Fishman. I think it was Fishman. And then also I do have the original materials that came with the guitar. Some of the original stuff that when I bought it. And also you get this kind of sound hole humidifier, which is, you know, in a way, this guitar is a few years old. And the thing about mahogany is it's really resistant to temperature humidity changes. It's a very consistent sound to it. I've had other guitars with maple tops, cedar tops, spruce tops. They're very, what's the word, sensitive to weather changes, and they'll sound quite differently. You have to tune it differently. But this is amazingly resistant to that stuff. And I think that's why it doesn't crack or have problems with this, because it's because it's all mahogany. I think it really is, it makes a difference. I think they sound great. And this also sounds great in different tunings. If you have the drop D tuning on this, fantastic. Slide style, if you want to take a slide to this is really great sounding. I think they call it like European or Eastern tunings are very good in this. So it's a great finger picking style guitar. Also, the spacing is perfect for finger picking. It's perfect, even for strumming. It's perfect. And you can see my friend T.J. Thompson, the luthier there. He said, he said you always can tell it's kind of well set up and well put together when you have some space on each side of those E strings. You can see that. Sometimes you look at a guitar, that E string is really close to the edge, not a good thing. So this is really well positioned, and the action is just, it's perfect, the action. Perfect for finger picking. And actually, for slide, you'd like it a little higher, but it seems to work even at this level for the sliding. I think that's about it. I'm going to see if I can play a little for you while I'm a really bad player. That's why I normally had this at home. I hate to sell this, by the way, because it is my favorite guitar and that I've owned, but I'm doing a lot of feature traveling, and I need to travel light. I can't take anything with me, or much with me, so this thing needs to get sold. So like the saying is, all those precious items in our life, we don't really own, we're just caretakers. There's your C, your G. Pretty rusty. I haven't played for like a year or 2 years, so I'm very rusty. Anyways, that would be an idea, but I definitely check out other better online players. You'll have a better kind of appreciation for this. Okay, there it is. Martin 1500 SM. In all its glory here, with a great case, a couple extras, well worth the investment there. Thanks for checking this out.